Hello YouTube, my name is Daniel Bonilla and I'm back again with another review of another highly anticipated Sideshow Premium format, and that's the now controversial, if you will, Punisher Premium format statue. Now, this statue had everyone raving. I believe it was in San Diego Comic Con, if I'm not mistaken. Everyone who saw it loved it. They thought it was going to be a home run. And it was one that I looked at on their website for quite some time, and I didn't pull the trigger. I'm not sure why, because I do like Punisher. Is one of my favorites, actually. But I was on the fence about buying him. I think the pose, maybe. I don't remember exactly what it was. But nonetheless, I did pre-order him towards the end, just before he came out. And I'm glad I did. There's been a lot of controversy about his portrait. People didn't seem to be happy when Sideshow did its unboxing of it. And I don't know what all the controversy was about, to be quite honest with you. I like the portrait a lot. And I think the big issue with the portrait was, yes, they set their standards very high with the portrait that they had, because it did look slightly better than this one. But the portraits, they're not big enough for you to look at the way they're showing it to you. In other words, when Sideshow's showing you that portrait, it's a very high definition up close shot of the portrait with the blue eyes looking really blue. And when they did the unboxing, the eyes didn't look blue. Some people pointed out that they were black, and they're not. They're actually blue, but they're small, so it's not something that picks up right away. Nonetheless, the controversy is all nonsense. The exclusive is really, really still very, very cool. And I'm glad I did. And I think a lot of people who have this piece and bought it are glad they did as well. It's a great statue. It's not the greatest statue in the world. Some people still prefer the Iron Studios Punisher over this. I like this one better because I think this, for me, represents Punisher the way that I know him better. So personally, I think this is a great statue. Enough about that. Let me get started with the actual review of this statue. And we're going to go ahead with the base as usual, right? So the base is something that on this particular piece is a little hard to appreciate, again, like most statues, unless you're there in person. And Sideshow did an incredible job. It's almost like they took a piece of a real steps from a mansion, because this is marble, and they're meant to be Kingpin's marble steps, and it looks so real. I mean, it's unbelievable. From the parts that are broken off, look like they were tore off, and it looks so real. The breakage, the debris, the edges, how they're jagged. There's no perfect edges here. It's outstanding. And the smooth base face of it looks and feels very much like marble, down to the rebarbs that are here on the steps that are broken off. They're rusted off. I mean, it's such a good effect, and it's such a cool effect that it makes the base very, very realistic looking. And it's just the right size. It's not a huge footprint. It doesn't take up a lot of space. The statue's not overly wide. This is something that you can display next to Daredevil, which is where I have him, and it looks terrific. So the base is outstanding, from the concept, the execution, the color scheme. Everything's done just right. I mean, you can even see where bullets have ricocheted off of it. There's bullet casings all over the place. And then, of course, you have Kingpin's cane, which is a separate piece, which you can display them however you like. You can put them anywhere, but even the cane looks really, really well done. So as far as the base goes, it's really, really good. It's compact. It tells a story, and it tells it very, very well. So kudos to Sideshow for that one. Now moving on to the sculpt and the body, again, they're very, very, very well done. The boots have wear that looks real, the scuffs on it. Again, the laces, the folds on the boots as it's, because it is moving. Even to the zipper on the side. The zipper looks like a real zipper. Mind you, this is all sculpted. None of it is mixed media. The boot has even little leather straps, and the stitching on the boots down to the soles looks like real boots. So it's a statue that's easy to appreciate when you have it in front of you because Sideshow did not skimp on the details, which is what makes the piece what it is, right? I mean, it's great if it's got a good pose and good paint, but if it's not well executed and it doesn't look real, it's just okay. But this is really well done. So when you're looking at the sculpt and you're moving up his pants, the folds on the pants are unbelievable. I mean, they just look so real. As you keep moving up, the pockets on the pants, they're like cargo pants and they're military grade. And you see all the different colors, right? Yeah, they're like dark black, but they're faded in certain areas where they're worn, and it just looks so convincing and it's so well executed that it's worth giving them props. I mean, it really is. The belt is really well done, and then you have all those accessories on it, right? You have the pouches, which all look very good. They all serve a purpose, obviously. And the two grenades that are hanging on this belt, I mean, they're outstanding. They really look convincing, and they do tell a story onto themselves. Now, the gun itself looks really good. Also, another issue people seem to have had is that this smoke effect, which people really liked, and it is really cool, is a friction fit. Mine fit perfect. I had no issue with it whatsoever. It looks great. It really adds to the statue. It's not a negative that it's a friction fit, at least for me, because it went in pretty well. Now he's got a big machine gun that's hanging slung from his shoulder, and some people complain they don't like loose pieces. Well, this machine gun isn't loose. It goes in. There's a hole behind him that this goes into, and there's a hole on top where the strap goes into. So they do go in. They're almost friction, and it took me a while. I thought I was gonna break the strap because it was a tight fit, but nonetheless, I got them in there. It's a perfect fit. It's not loose. It doesn't dangle, so it actually fits and goes very well. Some people were upset that there was no blood on the bat. It doesn't bother me. I don't care. Blood on the bat isn't going to make the statue any better, in my opinion, or any worse because it lacks it. It's just a different art direction. And for me, this works. The bat looks like real wood. It's done so well, you can't tell me it's not wood. The paintwork on the bat is outstanding. You have some darker towards the bottom of it and lighter as you go up, and you can see the wood grain, and it's outstanding. And then there's some kind of wrapping around the bat here that looks really good, and it looks like real like cloth wrappings, and then again it's all sculpted. His shirt is the texture on it is really well done. There's holes on it from he's been in a battle. And it's actually kind of not just white, it's kind of like off-white. It looks dirty in spots, and Sideshow did a great job with that. There's little tears around the sides where, on the sleeves, on the back of them, there's tears. It looks tattered. It looks like he's bit into something. There's no seams whatsoever that don't look natural. It looks outstanding. This statue is beautiful. And again, the details really make the difference. His gloves on his hands, those are beautifully done. They look real. They look like they've been in some kind of fight. So again, it just goes really well. Now moving on to his portrait, which is again controversial, not to me. It's beautiful. The hair strands look like real hair strands, and again, it's just sculpted. And there's some gray tones to the hair. So it's not just black hair. It's black. It's black with some gray tones. It's weathered. The guy's, looks like he's a little bit older, which Punisher kind of is. And the facial features look great. Looks real. He's got it's almost an indifferent look to him when he's leaving the scene of some destruction. He looks almost indifferent. And just typically, Punisher looks. He's either upset or indifferent. He looks kind of indifferent as he's leaving, but he's mean looking. I mean, he's a badass, and It portrays that. I do love the Punisher logo on his face painted, and it's not perfect. They did. There are some. If you look closely, it's not just a perfect paint job. It looks like makeup did run a little bit. So when you look at it closely, it looks like he's been into something, and it does look quite realistic. So again, to me, there's no controversy there. I have the regular portrait. I'm not gonna take the box out of my garage to bring it in and set them up, but look on Sideshow's website if you want to see that. It also looks very, very, very well done. There is some damage on him. You can see he's been through something. The lips, there's a little blood hint to him. It looks really, really, really good. So both portraits look outstanding. For me personally, I really like the exclusive. That's the way I'm going to display them. But you can't go wrong with the other if that's what you like as well. Anyways, putting this statue together was pretty simple, except for the gun behind him. This machine gun did give me some trouble because it is a friction fit, but there are keys behind his body and a key up here for his sling. So that was a bit of a struggle, but it finally went in, and it fits perfect. There's no issues with it. Putting his right arm in with the bat was also a little troublesome because it does hit the head a little bit, but nothing that's gonna it's not a make or break for me. But the fit could have been a little bit better, but in terms of execution and paint work and just concept, it is a beautiful statue. So if you're on the fence about this one, don't be. He's absolutely worth the money, and in my opinion, probably the best Punisher out there. Take care, guys.